Okay, hello. We are back. Last time, when we left off, we'd hit not the end of our first branch, we hit like a lock point that prevented us from going further on the current branch we were on. So, let's load back up. I think it's going to jump me right back at the start. We can just hit the flowchart immediately. Okay, okay. It's going to make us go through this intro stuff first. Right. Flu. So we're back at the beginning now. Let's take it from... Yeah, so there's the lockout point. Lock number 4 that we can't get past yet. Not enough antiviral stuff, because Kid... What's his name? I've forgotten his name now. Quark and Alice were both infected with some kind of global virus that was going around. We only had the vaccine for one of them. So let's back it right up to the decision point. And instead of trusting Alice to be a decent human being, we will distrust her.
Hey, it's almost time. What are you gonna pick? If you aren't going to do it, then
No, I'm fine. I'll do it.
You're gonna choose betray, right?
I am this time, yes. Yeah. Don't worry about it.
Alright. Take it away.
30 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
I stood in front of the selection screen and took a deep breath. This was it. I ran over my options one last time. There was only one possible choice. Betray.
Round 1 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation.
I keep forgetting to see if in the main options there's an option to make that text appear faster.
Ambidex gates now opening.
It's fine. I stepped out of the AB room. I could see the others running towards the projection, shoving and pushing to get closer.
Well, you chose what I wanted you to choose.
Yep.
I guess I should say thanks. So, thanks.
Oh, come on. You don't need to do that. I just made the obvious choice.
Obvious?
Well, I'm sure Alice chose Betray. That meant we pretty much had to choose Betray, right?
How do you know what she's going to choose?
Okay. I guess you could say I just know.
Are you making fun of me?
Maybe.
What's up? Siggy! Fido! Hey, what are you kids doing over there? We're about to announce the results.
Let's go. We'll find out if you made the right choice.
Alright. If they have Alice make the opposite choice this time round, that would be wild.
Looks like you're all here. Finally. Let's get ready to rock! Ambidex game! Round 1! The results!
If everybody would please direct their eyes to this monitor.
Oh shit, they do change it up. Huh. Interesting. Is that because I'd already done the other path? So I'm wondering if other characters would also be tapping into the field.
Here are the results from your game. Now, let us check the numbers on our bracelets.
Oh, hey Alice. What the hell is this? You chose Betrayal last time. Oh, okay, he is just actively remembering. So I chose Betray too. No, why?
Wait a minute. Last time? What on earth are you talking about?
Can you tell me one thing?
What?
When exactly did you press the button?
5 minutes before the deadline. There's that announcement, right? I pressed it right after that. Why?
What? No, that can't... What was going on? When Fi and I chose Ally, Alice picked Betray.
I just made the most rational choice. The best way to minimize risk and maximize reward in this situation is to choose Betray. Anyone who thinks otherwise is, well, an idiot.
Yeah, keep rubbing it in. God damn it. But this time I chose Betray, and her vote changed to Ally. Why? What was different? Had history somehow changed because of my choice? No, that was insane. If Alice had somehow known that I had chosen Betray, chosen Ally in response, at least I would have followed the principle of cause and effect. But what had just happened was something entirely different. There was no way Alice could have known what we would choose when she made her decision. Besides, if she had known we intended to betray her, there's no way she would have chosen Ally. In other words, she must have made her decision without any knowledge of ours. Let's say we're talking about a game of rock, paper, scissors. I throw out a rock. Right after that, Alice throws out paper. Obviously I lose. So I go back in time and decide to whip out the scissors this time. This time Alice chooses rock. I lose again. But that's fine because it still makes sense. My actions in the past cause Alice's actions in the future. Easy. But what had just happened in the AB game wasn't like that. Let's go back to that innocent game of rock, paper, scissors. Oh, Schrödinger's cat. Okay, yeah. Simultaneously in two states until observed otherwise. Okay, yeah. That's why they put the book in that room. This time Alice is the one who threw out her hand first. But in this situation, there's no way for me to know what it is. Can I look at the full shot? Where does the... Okay. So there's another decision coming up. Okay. So I decide to go with rock. Now Alice's choice is revealed. Turns out she went with... paper. Damn it. I lose and I'm pissed off. So once again I go back in time to try and change history and erase my loss. What will I choose this time? That's not even a question. Scissors, obviously. After all, last time Alice went with paper. Here's the important part. When I make this choice, Alice has already made her choice. Sure of my victory, I throw out a pair of scissors. But... what the hell? My rage would be white hot. How could this have happened? Why? Alice's hand had been paper before. How did it change to rock? Obviously there's no cause and effect here. Since Alice's choice was in the past and mine was in the future, how could that even happen? How could the future influence the past? But technically that's what's happened with us though. A future result has impacted our past decision. It wasn't theoretical now. This had actually happened. The hell was going on? No, wait. Why the fuck was I talking so casually about going back in time? This kind of stuff doesn't happen in real life. Right, of course. Time travel isn't possible. There's absolutely, positively no way to travel through time. Well, from the first game we kind of know that's not strictly speaking true. But if that was true...
The best way to minimize risk and maximize reward in this situation is to choose betray. Anyone who thinks otherwise is, well, an idiot.
Well, I guess you're the idiot now, Alice. Yeah. Talking shit at me last time.
Hey! Did you have a stroke or something?
Oh, sorry.
Besides, why do I have to answer your questions? I should be the one yelling at you. Because of you two, I've only got one BP left.
Oh, cry me a river after last time. Yeah, you're right.
Right! What in God's name is wrong with you?
I'm sorry. Really, I seriously feel terrible about this.
Forget it. I'm never going to trust you or Phi again.
Great.
You'll pay for this.
Oh boy. There's a chance we're still gonna end up in the same puzzle room with her. Unless it randomizes the bracelets again. Alice stormed off. She threw one last hurt, scornful look over her shoulder as she left, and it stabbed me right through the heart. No, because in the other timeline, I think it was Alice's choice to go with Sigma and Luna. So if she's pissed at us this time around, she's not going to want to go with us. So the puzzle room coming up is going to change regardless. I wonder if that's what the next choice is going to be then. Which room I go into. And I've only got the choice of 2 because Alice is going to refuse to go with me. Yeah, I think that's what it's going to be. One of the other teams seemed to be dealing with a similar issue.
I really don't know what I can say. We had no idea you would choose Ally.
No way I choose Betray. Not with Clover on the other side.
So they're the same. And the other team as well. Their decisions haven't changed.
What? What do you mean?
Do you have an interest in Clover?
What? No, that's not... No.
What is it then?
Well,
You'd have to be crazy to pick Ally. The only way it'd make any sense to do that is if you really, really trusted the other person.
so you're saying you don't trust me then?
Duh! Are you senile? Why the hell would I trust some old geezer I just met a few hours ago?
I see. Say no more. Didn't think it'd hurt this much.
Huh? What's that supposed to mean? You're starting to get kind of creepy.
Creepy, huh? I understand. I guess I just haven't had enough time to earn your trust.
Okay, so we caught the back end of that conversation on the other branch.
I suppose you could say that. I just didn't really expect you to be so nice about it.
Well, looks like those guys managed to get through this all right. Figure that means the fault here's got to be mine.
Huh? Thank you. Thank you very much.
Don't worry about it. We only did what anybody else would do.
Uh-huh.
Right, Mr. Dio?
Yeah.
exactly.
Alright, and then Quark throws Dio under the bus here a little bit. Dio, Quark and Luna, on the other hand, seem to have resolved things amicably, all by choosing Ally. No doubt we were all wishing we'd done the same. But why had Dio sounded so awkward? What had happened in the AB room? Only Dio and Quark knew for sure. Oh, and their conversation's cut short.
Next round start.
Okay.
What makes you think we'll be having another round?
Well, you said round 1. If there's a round 1, then there's likely a round 2.
Besides, didn't you say the goal of the AB game was to get 9 BP? That's impossible without a second round.
Yeah, I guess you got a point. You're right. There will be a second round.
When?
I don't know.
Why not?
The voting happens when an AB gate opens.
They're already open.
And then Zero closes them again.
So, let me just close them.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 2 of the Ambidex game will be the Moon Round. Moon cards will be...
Okay, this is all same as last time. Moon cards? Does that mean we can't use these cards anymore, since they've got suns on them?
Yes, indeedy. Now, you'll have to look for cards with moons on them.
So, how many times do we play the AB game?
I don't know.
As many times as it takes.
Times as you need to. It's anybody's guess how long it'll go. But I plan on keeping this party going until somebody opens the number 9 door.
So it's over when someone gets 9 BP.
No. As long as that person doesn't open the number 9 door, the game goes on.
Of course. You could also get stuck just below 9 BP, where every bunny just keeps going back and forth, and you're losing points. After all, if there's no bunny with 9 BP, the door can't open. If that happens, you'll just have to continue on to round 3, and round 4, and round 5, round 100, round 2000. You might even go all the way up to round 24,9,004,897. Although, I really, really hope it doesn't come to that.
Hey, can I ask you something?
I don't know. Can you?
There's rules about who can go into the secondary doors, right? Like, you have to have 3 people exactly?
Yeah? So?
Well, what about the number 9 door? Are the rules the same?
Nope. There aren't any rules about how many people can go through that door. It could be 1 person, or 2 people, or even all 9 of you. There is one thing though, Ziggy. All that stuff about how you have to have 3 people to go through the secondary chromatic doors, maybe it's not 100% true.
Okay, and this is a repeat of all the stuff about the, What do you mean?
Well, you can open the door with just 1 or 2 people if you want.
That you just need the bracelets, it doesn't matter the actual people.
That's not what you told us.
Well, I didn't want to make things complicated.
Okay, skip. This is skipping over all stuff that we've seen previously. Ooh.
I'd say it's going to be 10 Mialdi or less. One or the other.
Okay, somebody might die during the next round of the AB game. That's pretty clear, right? So the dialogue here has changed because obviously it's no longer Alice. It's no longer Sigma and Phi that are at risk. It's Alice instead.
Or it might be both of them.
What?
Why am I going to die?
Because we fucked you on the points.
I guess I can tell you why. Anyone whose BP drops to 0 gets penalized, just like when you...
Okay, skip again. Oh. So if I had been right, how did she know before Zero told us? I see.
Alice and I only have 1 BP. That means we'd have less than 0 if we lost 2 points.
What? What the hell? This is important stuff. Why didn't you tell us about this earlier?
Sorry.
Sorry's not going to cut it. I thought you were supposed to tell us the rules, not hide them.
Well,
is there anything else you've conveniently left out? It's not fair to make people play a game without explaining all the rules.
I think it's fair. After all, it's not like anybody else knew. Right? Right, Fido?
Yeah,
Wow, she's getting called out for it.
I guess so.
I took a moment to go over everything in my head. Hang on, let's skip. Yeah, okay. This is all repeat stuff. So that was all. Everyone's bracelet's different. Everyone's split off to go explore. Flashback for Sigma. Crew quarters. This is their conversation about the Schrödinger's cat. And the article about the pandemic virus. Lounge.
You know,
What was that conversation about? I actually did forget. Headaches and memory loss, I think, was their conversation, wasn't it? And everyone was talking about their jobs. Yeah.
Not me. No headaches here.
No, it was the guys that talk about the jobs, wasn't it?
What are you doing here?
Oh, hey, Alice. Yes, checking out the infirmary. Still mad, huh? You mad? You mad, bro? You mad? I love the rubbingness in her face after she screwed us over last time.
Obviously.
Oh, come on now, you don't have to get your panties in a bunch.
That's easy for you to say, Dio. You're sitting pretty at 5 BP. Temioji and I only have 1. You do understand what that means, don't you?
That's no reason to take your anger out on people. You won't get your BP back by being a jerk to him.
What's this? You're gonna take his side? I thought you, of all people, would agree with me.
I do.
No, you don't. You don't get it. Why would you care? You've got, what, maybe 5 years left? Maybe less?
Wow. Alice, holy shit. He's not that old.
I'm not like you. I'm still young. I want to live a long life. There's so many things I still want to do.
Like what?
Well, let's see. I want to wear lots of gorgeous clothes.
Okay, and now we're getting to the repeat of the dialogue she had before.
I want to eat.
Yeah, everyone's talking about their jobs, everyone else's jobs. Discovering the bomb. Talking about the bomb. And then time's about to run out very soon. Alright, decision time.
Chromatic doors have opened.
And Alice isn't going to want to come with us this time.
5 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
Hey, the doors are open.
We need to figure out who's gonna go through which door.
Well, what are our options this time?
Pay attention. I'm only saying this once. Just like the last time, we've got 3 possible combinations.
Quickly lay out the choices. Okay, option A, we go with Clover. Option B, we go with Phi. Option C, we go with Alice. Option C is going to get thrown out of the window.
3 minutes remain until chromatic doors close.
Okay. How do we want to do this?
You decided the first time, right?
Yeah.
Can I decide this time?
Why you?
I think I deserve it. I only have 1 BP left. Doesn't it seem like the fair thing is to let the person who's at the greatest disadvantage choose? Wouldn't you agree?
That means you should get to choose too. I mean, you've only got 1 BP, right?
You got a point. But how about we listen to what Alice wants first? So tell us, which door and which people do you want?
The green door. And I want to go with Kay and Quark.
Interesting.
I see. Option B, then.
Because she had 2 choices there.
That means Tenmyoji and Dio will go with Clover through the blue door. Is that alright with you, Tenmyoji?
Yeah, sure. I don't mind.
Why? If we go through there together, that means you'll be playing against me in the next AB game. Are you really, really sure?
Oh yeah, I'm sure. Matter of fact, that's why I want to go with you. You said you didn't trust me, right? Well, I'd like to change your mind. I figure this will give me the chance. I've been wanting to pair up with Alice, too. There's something I want to talk to you about.
He wants to pair up with the 2 people from the previous games.
Oh, and that is?
We'll get to that later.
Anyway, Alice's first choice would be option B then?
Yes.
What about the rest of you? Is that okay too?
Who is B? Is that Phi, I think? I thought about it for a moment. If you went with option B, Luna and I would go through the red door with Phi. Phi for fun. As far as how I felt about that. Decision time! Yeah, do we want to go with her or no? This is all going to end in another branch decision point anyways. See, it's a yes or no decision this time, so it's not really as easy to suss out as I did with these ones. Who was the other option? It was Phi or... Tenmyoji? I think? Yeah, let's go with Phi. Yeah, that's fine.
I don't have any problems with it.
Hopefully what little rapport we've built up with her will allow us to agree to an ally. If not, then we'll know if she's trustworthy or not. There were no objections.
We're all set. Let's go, everybody.
10 seconds remain until chromatic doors close. 9, 8, 7.
We nodded quickly to one another and split up. Kay, Quark and Alice headed for the green door, while Tenmyoji, Dio and Clover ran towards the blue one. My feet slapped against the hard metal of the warehouse floor, and Luna, Phi and I ran into the red chromatic door, in the next stage of the nonary game.
2.
Nonary game or nonary game?
Chromatic doors closing.
Okay, red. This was the stasis room thing, I think? Huh? Is this a dead end?
All 3 doors seem to be locked.
Yeah, looks like it.
I wonder what this thing is.
It looks like the thing next to the number 9 door.
It's got a lever. Try pulling it, Sigma.
Why should I?
It might be dangerous. Maybe it'll trigger an explosion. Or possibly it shocks you when you pull it. Who knows?
Right. Then I have no choice. Did you really think I'd say that, you heartless monster? There's nothing on either side, is there?
What's that supposed to mean?
Ah, sorry for the confusion. I was talking about your breasts. Wow. Dude, what the fuck? What the actual fuck, dude?
It's called dressing modestly. I'll have you know I'm a C-cup.
If you're a C-cup, I'm packing 12 inches. Jesus. We continued in that vein for some time until Luna just fucking does it because she wants to get out of this situation as fast as she can. Huh?
What?
It sounded like you two might take a while, so I pulled the lever. Is that okay?
Yes, that's perfectly fine. Get us out of this stupid argument.
Only the one on the left opened.
The others are still shut tight.
Well, we should get going anyway.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay, yeah, this is the... What is this place?
It looks like some kind of control room.
I can see a huge machine of some sort on the other side of this window.
This wasn't the puzzle room that... The red door led to... On the other timeline.
Maybe a generator?
Are we going to get different puzzle rooms per route? Is this another Schrödinger's cat type situation? Right, well, let's split up and look around.
Cards with a moon on them for the next AB game, right?
Yeah. Oh, it's another one. On the left there, there's another one of those number locker things. They're probably in this room somewhere.
Then let's get started.
Seek a way out. Alright, let's look around. Oh, we're doing like a little pan around. Okay, that's the door out. Where's the safe? There. Okay, it's a clock with seconds on it. Another with minutes. Is there a third with hours? Nope. Just minutes and seconds. Alright. What the fuck? Alright. Easiest way of doing this is... This is going to be our starting point, the door. Let's go through everything. These are all wrapped in PP brands. PP brands? Bands, even. Rope made of polypropylene. That. A cardboard box filled with complicated machinery. Do you think we can use it? I don't even know what it is. Books. Looks like there's a few different books here. We've got some sort of dense technical thing and a novel? Doesn't look like there's any clues here, though. Okay. We got our safe. A safe! It looks like the ones I saw in the AB room in the infirmary. So if we put in a password, it should open. Looks like it works the same too. Back out. Damn. What am I doing wrong? Okay, clock with seconds. A red clock. It says 11,400 seconds on it. Not sure why. Can we interact with it anywhere? Nope. What is... Okay. The column it's on doesn't seem to be anything in itself. We got a compass. Looks like there's something in the blue box. Let's see what it is. Compass and a protractor. I'll be drawing circles and working out angles. What about the folders? These look promising. Let's see here. Damn, I can't understand any of this. Is this some kind of code? None of these have anything useful. So much for that. Some cardboard boxes. There's some machinery inside, but we don't know what it's for. And another clock. A blue clock. It says 510 minutes on the face. That's a long time. I'm not gonna have to do some math here. Figure out, what the seconds... What, like, angle the seconds hand should be on. Or the minute hand should be on the clock faces. Okay, we've got another bunch of these. Oh! This locker looks like one of the... Looks like the ones in the crew quarters. There's even a puzzle panel. Even the puzzle panel looks similar. I'm not going to get through any of these streams without just falling over my words, am I? Let's see here. Enter the code, press enter. Huh? I don't get it. There are 4 spots I need to fill. If I put in the right numbers and press enter, it should unlock. Okay, so... What was it? 1140. Let's get rid of all you. 1140. 0. Oh my god. And then you were 510. Trying to do this on an analog stick instead of a touchpad with a stylus is amazing. Right, memo, let's see. Let's bring up my calculator. So 11400 divided by 60 is 190 minutes. Do I have to convert it into hours and then minutes with the remainder? So that'd be 3 hours and... Let's put a dash there. 3 hours and what, 10 minutes? Oops. And this would be... $8 hours and 30 minutes? So 310, 830. I assume we're going to do blue first, so that's the 830, so... Oh, I see. We're doing them in sequence across the top. 830 and then 310. So 310. There we go. You did it! It unlocked. See if you can open it. What the fuck? Rainbow tree root. Okay. Wow, these are some intense colors. What is that thing? I think it's a root system for a tree. What? Come on, no tree has rainbow roots. I don't think it looks like that naturally. They probably painted it. It's pretty ugly. I agree. So what am I supposed to do with it? I'm sure it'd make for a delightful souvenir, but I don't think it'd make it past customs. Maybe you're supposed to put it somewhere? Like, well, on that machine perhaps? Don't know what machine you're talking about, but we shall see in a moment. This locker looks like one of the ones from the crew quarters. Even the puzzle panel looks similar. Let's figure out how it works first. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna need a 4-digit thing, which we don't have yet. Okay, what is this? On, off, on, off, 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 on, off, off, on, off, on, off, huh? You didn't have to read the whole thing out loud. Look, there's a hole in the middle of it. Oh yeah. So let's stick the old compass in the middle. There's a small hole in it with what looks like... Sorry. There's a small hole in it that looks like it was made with a needle. Were you thinking about putting the compass needle in that hole? Yeah. The compass isn't spread though. I don't think you can draw a circle like that. Oh. Can we combine? Aha. Okay, we don't need to work out angles for anything. It was just on the protractor. Let's try this again. So, I just put the compass needle in here. Cool, I think that gives us a sequence. We just don't know where the sequence starts. I assume that one's the starting one because it's a different colour than the rest. But are we going clockwise or anti-clockwise? What's this? It's got all these pipes. Look at the black and yellow lever. It says power under it. Do you think this tubing has electrical cables in it or something? Maybe flipping these levers will let us change the amount of electrical current. What would that accomplish? I don't know. Well, I'm guessing the power lever is the source. Might as well give it a... Wait. Don't get ahead of yourself. Look at the 320. Oh? The lever's missing. Without a replacement lever, I don't think we'll be able to do anything. Okay. What is this? That's a tall screen. I don't think it's turned on. Maybe it can't get power for some reason. Is this the screen that we're going to get the codes from for the save? Alright, we have the weird plant thing. What is this thing? It's huge. I would guess it's used to analyze things? Looks like it's missing a part though. Wait. Sigma, I think you've got the missing part right there. This? I think I could put that rainbow-colored root here. Cool. Now what? Can we look down? This doesn't feel right. I think we're missing something. Okay. It's the door we came in on. Looks like it's the control panel. It's covered with screens and buttons and so on. Can we press any of those buttons? What's in this room, actually? Let's take a look at this, whatever the fuck this is. What is that thing? An octopus? That's a pretty big octopus. Yeah, it'd take us all our lives to eat something that big. Don't eat it. I think that maybe that's an annihilation reactor? How do you know what the fuck that would be? Annihilation? You mean like that bomb? Yes. The core of the annihilation bomb would work on the same principles. I think Fi knows a lot more about me about those things, though? Well, I wouldn't say that. I've just picked up a few tidbits of information here and there. A few tidbits? Huh. If it's what Luna thinks, it should be pretty simple. There's going to be a bunch of matter and antimatter in there, probably hydrogen and antihydrogen, bumping into one another. When they do annihilate one another, that's where you'll get the name, and release a bunch of energy. You can actually calculate how much energy by taking the mass defect and... stop. Too complicated. You're saying that octopus thing is a machine that runs off annihilation energy, right? Well, machine is a weird way to put it. It's more like an engine, like a steam engine or an internal combustion engine, just better. All of the electricity in this facility is generated by Mr. Octopus. So that would make this room... Yes. This is Mr. Octopus's control room. Okay. None of these are interactable? No. Okay, a laptop with a webcam on it. And a notepad. Test. And we don't have anything to combine that with. There's a piece of paper on that clipboard. It says test. Each letter is written in a different colour. The T is green, the E is blue, the S is yellow, and the T is pink. They look like they've been written in highlighter. Okay. Oh, test on there as well. USB in the side there. A laptop. It's got something on the screen. It's the letter T. Huh? Did you see that thing plugged into the side of the laptop? Yeah. It looks like a memory stick. Hey, we can just take it. I don't think this is a memory card. What? Unless I missed my guess, it's actually a portable scanner. See, there's a thin slit on the end. Just wave that pad over any images or text you want to scan. You can just plug it back in with the laptop. And look at whatever you've scanned. Neat. Okay, so can we combine that with... yellow. Interesting. Huh? The screen changed. You think it's because you... Do you think it's because you pulled that thing out? Let's plug it back in. Oh hey, the screen's blue now. This is... Looks like a password. You think this is for the panel on the safe? I assume so. Is the blue screen the... bonus one for the gold? Archive, let's have a look. It is, yeah, so... Moon, star, sun. Wow, that was surprisingly easy to get. Piece of cake. Okay, we'll take a look at that in a bit. Can we use the... Oh, hang on, do we need to pull it back out? Can we use this to scan the tree thing? Okay, nope. What about this? Interesting. So you use the compass to make a circle. And now the circle touches specific words. Maybe those words are a clue? Can I use the... Not really, no. Is that a solution for this, maybe? Okay, can't use the, no. I still have the notepad. The clipboard. I need a lever for this. Something's missing from here. Okay, was there anything else across here? Aha. Hey, I think you can move these. Oh, you're right. It says off in the top and on at the bottom. Okay. Let's go back to the piece of paper. Okay, so don't need that anymore. So let's do on. I should just do F and N, shouldn't I? Actually, you know what? Let's make this easier for myself. Tick. Change color. Off. On. Off. 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 Okay, so you were on, and then it was, I guess, 2 to the right. Is that it? Unless it's the other way around. There we go. Sigma, what are you doing? Don't break it. No, it wasn't me. It just fell off. Are you sure? Yeah, I'm sure. Well, it's off now, so no point in crying over spilt levers. Maybe we can use this somewhere else. Like where? Like that little piping section where we need a lever. Okay, slap that on the 320. Okay. If I just put this here. Good. There we go. Okay, so how the fuckity fuck does this work? Alright, let's just hit power, see what happens. So, what should I do with this thing? I found a manual on the floor over there. Oh, great. Awesome. It says that this machine doesn't really use electricity in a conventional way. Huh? Those tubes use some kind of special liquid to transmit electricity. Actually, it's pretty complicated. The simple version is that you can adjust the voltage by adjusting the flow of liquid. So let's say you turn that rightmost lever all the way to the left. If you do that, then all the liquid coming from 240 will go to the left tube. Turn it all the way to the right and it all goes to the right. And in the middle it splits it in half. Yeah, there we go. Okay. We're gonna have to math some stuff out. So what's the deal with the question marks? Those should represent unknowns in the target values. The one with 3 question marks means it's supposed to be a 3-digit number, while ones with only 2 mean it's meant to be a 2-digit number. And of course a single digit question mark means that value is just a single digit. What about the one that starts with 3? Well, I guess that would mean that the 300th digits has to be a 3. So question mark for question mark means that the 10th digit has to be 4. And question mark 5 means that the single digit has to be a 5, right? Yes, I think so. So let's see if I've got this. We need to adjust the levers so that the liquid gives us the right numbers in the bottom. Is this going to give me the numbers for the other locker? That's correct. Once you've got all of the levers set, then I think you would pull down the power lever like this. Ah, makes sense. I think that just about covers it. Oh wait, one more thing. The liquid will only flow from the top to the bottom. The manual is very specific about that. Okay, let's do this thing. Okay. So in order for this to be a 2-digit number, it needs to half and then half again. So we've got to leave those two as they are. For this one to be a single-digit number, can it be 0? No, I want it to turn... There we go. If I pull the lever, does it... Okay, green lights. Lets me know that those ones are correct. So that is meant to be a 0. So what is happening here? 320 goes down. 120 goes down, that'd be 540. But that's not the correct number. Yeah, that just invalidates. Okay, that gets the right hand side done. So that's going to be 160 going down there. Okay. The fact that it lights up to show that you've got those ones correct kind of means you can brute force this a bit. So what are we doing here? This needs to split in half at some point. Easy. Easy. Yes, I am a champion. Look. Aha. It turned the power on. Let's back the fuck out. Take a look at this. Tall screen. It seems to be powered, but nothing happens when I touch it. What about if we scan it? No. Okay. What about the... No. Let's look at this thing. The root. Look at that thing. I know, isn't it beautiful? Are you kidding? It's gross. I think it looks kind of fancy and nice. The root. It's shining with all the colours of the rainbow. Okay, but what are we... Still missing something. Okay, So I guess it's whatever's in this locker, but I don't know what the number for it's supposed to be. 4-digit number. Do you think that picture was taken with the laptop camera? There are 2 bundles of folded cardboard boxes. Looks like the ones behind us. Look at the space between the boxes on the left and the wall. Is there something there? Oh yeah. Wow, yeah. Yeah, there is. Let's go take a look. Oh shit! Okay, that's actually kind of hard to get at. These were the boxes on the laptop screen. Yeah, let's try moving them. Hey! Ayo! Combine you with... And this is going to give me our 4-digit number for the locker. 7213. Look at the screen. Huh? It changed. Okay. Right, 7213. So 7 2 1 3. Excellent, unlocked. Good work, now open it up. The missing piece for the machine. Disc-shaped part. Huh? Looks like it would fit. Here we go. Nothing's happening. Hold on. It's moving. Looks like it's finally ready. But ready for what? Well... ready for you to use this, I'm guessing. This screen? Yeah. I think. I think I've got it. This machine is a CT scanner. You mean like from a hospital? Yes. One of those things that can take pictures of cross-sections of your brain and organs and stuff. Yes. It can image things other than the human body too. Like this root, for instance. So what we're seeing on the left is this slice of that root? I think so. What are we supposed to do then? I think trial and error is going to be the best way to figure this one out. Just start messing with it and we'll see what happens. Alright. Hold the X button and press the up and down direction buttons where the image of the root is displayed to scroll between sections of the layers. The bottom layer has 8 circles of the different colours. 4 of those circles are blank. Assign the appropriate number to each circle. Okay. The numbers you can use are displayed below the cross-section. Grab and move them with X. Here goes nothing. Okay, it's like measuring the breakdown of the numbers. So total, everything adds up to 100. So that would be 20. That'd be 26, that'd be 18. So that'd be... Oh no, that's terrible. That blue is actually terrible. 20... 18... Oh, this is so bad with an analog stick. 26... which would make this... basic math-wise, does my brain not work? 64... 36? I think? That's 62. Yeah, okay. So then these are further divisions down, so... That'd be 6. That would be 1. That would be 5. And then this would be 11. That's not... Let me just double check my math on this. Yeah, that is 36. So how do I do an 11? Assuming I am reading this correct, which I very much might not be. My assumption is that these numbers are not actual fractions, they're like the breakdown of... like the colouring, I guess, so it's like a... like a 3 branch and a 15 branch that then breaks down into... Oh no, I suppose that wouldn't work, would it? Would it? Hang on, no. If this is being represented in fractions, it would actually be a fraction. So that's kind of silly of me, really. I think, unless it is. Okay, I think this is actually a fractional, so I'm going to have to try and figure this out. Oh, this is bad. I don't know why I decided to Stream puzzle games. My brain just absolutely blanks out on the actual solving of them. Okay. Let me take a look at something. 15. Okay. So this is 1/5. So that's over 5, which would make that 20 points out of the total 100. This is a quarter. So that's out of 20. So this would be out of 25. This would be 30, I think. Which all of those added together is 75, so you'd be 25 as well. So if we go to this, this should be 8, red should be 8, yellow should be 6, you should be 9, and you should be 10. There we go. Not as complicated as it seems. Huh? Looks like I got it. You sure did. That's amazing. Good work. Well, would you look at that? The colour changed. I wonder. Have a look, Sigma. Hey, this is... I knew it. You've seen a password like this before, haven't you, Luna? Yes. In the AB room in the infirmary. It'll open the safe, right? Yeah. Can we have a conversation with 5 first, before we leave, about the AB room game, please? Just to make sure we're all on the same page about allying with each other. Star, Sun. Okay. Oh, what the hell is this? Yes. It opened. Okay, let's get our prizes. First we've got the map that was underneath the weird box thing. A map. It says floor B. The one we found in the crew quarters said floor A. So did the one in the infirmary. We came down here using an elevator, right? So that would make A the top floor. Seems weird. Don't the numbers usually count up from the bottom floors? Well, it looks like that way. A for above, B for below? Why does that seem ominous? Whatever. Moving on. Our next prize is... let's see. Keycards. They have the moon on them. That means these are the moon cards that the announcer was talking about. Now we can play the next AB game. They gave us 2, just like with the sun cards. I'm solo, so I'll take one. If that's fine with you guys. Sure, go for it. We've got 2 other things left. I've seen one of them before, but this one... Oh! So... God, I haven't seen one of these in friggin' forever. It's like a palm pocket thing. I forget the name of them. Is it some kind of input device? It has a keyboard on it. And a cable connected to the laptop. cable connected to the top even. We can worry about that later. Might as well take it with us for now though. And finally, the key. We can get out now. Yeah. They should unlock the exit. Sweet. No more screwing around. Let's move. But before we leave, let's take a look at... Oh, that's the wrong door. Whoops. We got some new secrets. Swimsuit, password input device, antimatter reactor, anti-hydrogen bomb, TNT equivalent equals MC squared, and 63 terajoules. Swimsuit. For some reason Sigma, or perhaps the author, seems to be naturally obsessed with swimsuits. Why is that? Was he involved in some horrible swimsuit accident, now repressed, in his youth? Did he have a crush on a high school girl on a swim team who put her Olympic aspirations ahead of any possible romance? Is he just a perv? The world will never know. Password input device. This device can be used in an emergency to deactivate the antimatter bombs hidden throughout the facility. Oh! It doesn't really have any official name. Sometimes it's simply called the designated computer terminal, but sometimes it's just input device. The device has a small QWERTY keyboard with beneath the LCD display. On the top is a large black cable which can be attached to the bomb you wish to deactivate. Entering the correct password on the keyboard will stop the detonation. We don't have the passwords yet. Antimatter reactor. In a general sense, an antimatter reactor is a system that generates electricity or some form of power from matter-antimatter reactions. This facility uses hydrogen and anti-hydrogen. The reactions power a turbine which generates energy and powers everything in the facility. It looks like a gigantic octopus, but it's definitely not edible, no matter how you cook it. Anti-hydrogen bomb. A particular type of antimatter, normal hydrogen atoms have one proton and one electron, but an anti-hydrogen atom has the opposite, one antiproton and one positron. In November 2010, the European Organization for Nuclear Research, CERN, issued a statement announcing that they had captured an anti-hydrogen atom. They claimed that they had gathered 38 of them, in fact, and managed to hold them in a special container for 0.2 seconds. Less than 6 months later, in June 2011, they managed to capture several more anti-hydrogen atoms and contain them for more than 1,000 seconds. Although the creation and storage of antimatter is a difficult obstacle, these results suggest antimatter reactions could someday be a possibility. TNT equivalent. TNT is often used as a reference point when discussing the power of explosive devices. Specifically, explosive power is usually described in tonnage. The amount of energy 1 ton of TNT produces is approximately 4.184 gigajoules. This means that an explosive device with an output of 1 megaton generates 1.184 petajoules. TNT stands for Trinidad and Tobago. Ah, yes. I'm not even going to attempt to pronounce that. That's it. It's one of the most common explosives, which is how it came to be a reference point. A kilogram of TNT has 1.184 megajoules of energy, but a kilogram of butter has 30 megajoules. Butter is some dangerous stuff. E equals mc squared, Einstein's famous equation. Put simply, it means that energy, E, is equal to mass times the speed of light, c, squared. It describes how much energy you get by annihilating matter with antimatter, a lot, but also carries an interesting implication that with enough energy you could theoretically create matter. 63 terajoules. The amount of energy you get from combining 350 milligrams each of matter and antimatter. You can get this number using the equation, and then this is a repeat of a conversation we've already seen when they were talking about the bomb. Okay, let's get out. The door's locked. It says lock. Okay, let's go. Yes, let's. I agree. 3, 2, 1. You found it.
An ambidex gate has been opened.
Hey.
45 minutes remain until ambidex game polling closes.
Wait, somebody's already down in the room. Huh? What's going on?
Maybe someone from another team opened one of them. They must have found a moon card.
Well, why the hell would they just go and open one of the doors on their own?
We should get back upstairs. Whoever jumped the gun is probably in the warehouse.
Right. Okay, let's go. So we're not going to get a chance to have a conversation with Fi about splitting the... splitting the points. So which team went ahead and activated the game ahead of us? We're left out of the magenta door and into the warehouse. There stood Tenmuji, Dio, and Clover. Hey, what the hell is this? Why'd you open one of the AB rooms before the rest of us got back?
Clover and I haven't done anything.
Dio didn't feel like waiting, I guess.
Fuck you, Dio, you piece of shit.
You got a problem?
Yeah, let's punch him in the fucking face. Yes, I do have a problem.
Why? I don't remember saying anything about waiting until everyone got back to open the AB rooms.
Are you kidding me? We didn't talk about it because we thought it was common sense.
Sigma's right. We were able to get back quickly, but the others could still be stuck somewhere. What if they can't get back in time?
No sooner were the words out of her mouth. Hey.
Oh, thank goodness. You're all here.
Did something happen?
Yes. It's Quark, you see? He...
What? What happened to Quark?
He collapsed. It happened so suddenly. We were just searching our room.
What?
Please, you must hurry to the infirmary.
We don't really have time for
The
this.
condition could change at any moment. You should go.
Oh no.
Tenmuji shoved Kei aside and left through the yellow door. The rest of us exchanged a few startled looks, then ran off after him.
Quark, come on, kid. Get a hold of yourself.
Tenmuji grabbed Quark's shoulders and began to shake him desperately. No, we didn't do the second round of voting on the other path. Because Dio didn't jump the gun that time. Okay. It was Clover who stopped him.
Hey, what are you doing? He's sick, and we don't even know what's wrong with him. What if you make him worse?
Stop smiling, Clover.
Then what am I supposed to do? I have to save him.
Save? That seems a little extreme. Maybe he just has anemia or something.
No, that's not it. I know him better than any of you. He doesn't have anemia. He's never just collapsed before.
Well, then call an ambulance and stop freaking out about it.
Son of a bitch. This is serious.
The infirmary seems pretty well equipped. There are plenty of diagnostic tools, but without a doctor, there's not going to be much we can do with him.
Oh, right. Well, we've got Luna.
That's right. I remember Dio saying something. You have a medical license, don't you?
Wait, really? Is that true, Luna?
Well, yes, but...
You have to take a look at him then. Please. Quark needs your help.
Okay. I'll see what I can do. I think that machine over there is a medical scanner. It's called an atom. It uses nuclear magnetic resonance imaging to examine and diagnose people.
If I skip, is this mostly going to be the same? Let's see. Okay, yeah. Everyone talking about the virus? Okay. Tell me, Sigmund, what about you? Did you find anything? You mean in the control room? All I had was a bunch of stuff for controlling the generator. I don't think anyone would have put medicine in there.
What about you, Kay? Was there any medicine in your room?
I'm terribly sorry. There was nothing of the sort in the archives.
So you went into the archives?
Books and so on in abundance, but no medicine.
Oh God. Then he's going to... Oh God, no.
So it was completely different sets of rooms this time. Look, just to be sure. Where did the three of you go?
Someplace called the Bee Garden.
Ah, you went to the Bee Garden instead.
It was kind of like a park with trees and stuff.
But...
Yeah. No medicine. Maybe some medicinal plants?
Tenmyuji slumped to the ground. For a moment there was silence.
Quark?
Quark! Oh, thank...
Skip all this again. They struggle, they take the scalpel off him, or Alice takes the scalpel off him. They inject him with the tranks. We chase after her. No one here, huh? Damn. Where did she go? No point in complaining. Just need to look somewhere else. I turned around and headed towards the exit. Okay, this is all new stuff apparently. So this is all playing out exactly the same. Is she gonna end up in the garden again? The archives. So this will be a new room for us, I think. Oh yeah, that's a new room. So this is the archives, huh? Q, Quark and Alice searched this room. Oh, that is one of the skills things on it as well. Damn. Nothing here either. We need to find her quick or she's gonna do something bad. If she loses it like Quark did, and nobody's around to stop her. Shit, I need to hurry. I decided to try the garden where Clover, Tenmyuji and Dio had gone after passing through their door. I can't remember who subdued Alice. I think it was Phi. The first thing I noticed when I stepped inside was the smell. Plant life was everywhere, and the air was filled with the fresh scent of it growing, underlaid with the sweet, dry tones of dead leaves underfoot. While the air outside had been dry and harsh, in here it was warm and wet, like a forest after a spring rain. Just like Clover said, transplants and stuff everywhere. I walked slowly down the path, still slightly stunned. Most of the facility had been cold, dull metal, but this room was positively verdant. Man, hard to believe there's something like this here. What the hell is this even for? As strange as the garden was, Alice needed to be my priority. I reined my thoughts back in, continued down the path to the grass. I'd only gone a few steps when I stopped short. Yep, you found her again. Alice.
Oh, there you are. Good. I'm glad you showed up.
Huh?
I just got here a minute ago. She was like this when I found her. When you showed up, I was getting ready to take her to the infirmary.
Then she's, alive?
Yeah. Her breathing and pulse seem normal. She doesn't appear to have any obvious external wounds.
So she's just unconscious?
Looks like it.
What about the scalpel?
Doesn't look like she has it. Figure she probably dropped it on the way here.
Did she though? Or did you pocket it?
Anyway, we need to get her to the infirmary. Give me a hand here.
Right.
Wait, hold on. There's something I need to tell you.
Oh?
Just stay calm.
What?
Look to the right.
My right or your right?
Your right.
Fuck, another bomb. We didn't spot that last time. What the hell? This is a bomb.
Exactly. I'm pretty sure someone didn't move it here from the crew quarters. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's an entirely different bomb.
Different number.
Look at the number on the side.
It says 01. The one in the crew quarters said 03. Shit. Then there's no question, huh?
I've got more good news. Just think about the numbers for a moment.
You're saying there's a 02 bomb out there somewhere?
I can't be sure, but it does seem pretty likely.
Damn it. That means we're talking about... That means we're talking about an explosion the size of 3 tons of TNT. Who said it?
Clover, Tenmyoji, and Dio investigated the garden. There's also a chance someone else said it. Anyone could have come here after they left and before we showed up.
You know the funny thing is, Fi? You were in both of the rooms that had the bomb show up. If you found Alice first here, then you could have set the bomb and you could have set it in the crew lounge as well.
Anyway, we need to move Alice. Help me out here.
So far, the common connection between all of the bombs is you. Alice was lighter than I had expected, and Fi and I managed to set off towards the infirmary at a brisk trot.
Alright, please pay attention, everyone.
In the conversation about Quark being ill, I guess they must have skipped over a segment of the conversation that we had last time. When we've seen it again now. Because we didn't go to the room that had the stasis pods in them. So I wonder if they just like completely skipped over that like chunk of the conversation from last time.
You need to hear this. The Atom has finished scanning Alice.
What did it say?
Her results are identical to Quark's. She has also been infected with Radical 6.
I called everyone else back after I brought Alice to the infirmary. 7 sets of eyes widened as Luna spoke. Again, shouldn't that be... No, 7 is... No, it should be 6 set of eyes. Because Luna's eyes wouldn't widen as well. She wouldn't be surprised by herself saying something.
Oh no. No! What's going to happen to her?
Well, like I said before, there's only one way to cure Radical 6. It's a special antiviral treatment. Whether or not there's any around here, though.
No! No! Oh, Alice! I don't want you to die! Please!
Are we going to run into the exact same lock situation as last time?
Please don't die! I don't want to be alone! Don't die!
Clover wrapped her arms around Alice's unconscious body and began to sob. None of us had the heart to pull her off, so all we could do was stand and watch uncomfortably.
Ten minutes remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
Was Alice a solo player?
All players, please.
She was, wasn't she? Oh man, she's not going to be able to enter her vote.
No vote is recorded before the deadline has passed.
It counts as an ally.
Parties will automatically ally.
Guys, I think we should get back to the warehouse.
No, we shouldn't. We should all just wait here. Then we all automatically get 2 points. Everyone just... What about Alice and Quark?
I guess we're just gonna have to leave him behind.
Oh... Who was Quark with? Kay. That was his partner.
No! I'm not leaving!
Clover.
I'm staying here! Like heck, I'm gonna leave Alice all alone!
But then you're leaving Dio all alone and he's gonna vote to fucking steal from... Tenmuji, I think.
She's going to be fine. I gave her some Soparil. She'll just be sleeping like Quark.
I don't care! I just want to stay with her. She shouldn't have to be all by herself.
Whatever. She can do what she wants.
Huh?
I see. Dio and Tenmyoji's opponent in the next AB game is Clover. If she doesn't vote, then she'll default to ally, which I don't think I need to mention would be pretty favorable for Dio. If she stays, he's got an easy round.
Whoa! What are you saying? You think I'm gonna choose Betray?
Yeah, I do. Am I wrong?
Yes! Of course I'm gonna pick Ally. For one, Tenmyoji's gonna be in there with me. I can't just ignore his opinion and make my own choice, right?
No, I won't be going.
Oh, dude, no, you can't just leave Dio to do this by himself. He is going to be a fucking piece of shit about this.
I can't leave Quark here when he's like this. I'll be staying, just like Clover.
Come on now, what is this?
Knock it off, Dio. He's too smart to let you make a scapegoat out of him.
What the hell? Why are you so suspicious of me?
Yes?
What if Dio stays behind too? If Clover, Tenmyoji, and Dio all don't vote, then everyone allies, right?
Oh, you don't know?
Know what?
This. You didn't find a note like this one?
What note, sorry?
Huh? Wait, what's this?
We found it in the archives.
Well, there sure as hell wasn't anything like that in the garden.
We didn't find one in the control room either.
New rule being added?
Interesting. Apparently only the archive had one.
What does it say?
Why don't you read it for us, Sigma?
I took the note from him and, still slightly confused, began to read. Here are some AB game rules for you. Not voting is not an option. If both parties refuse to vote, then everybody gets penalized. In other words, if one person out of every color group of 3 has... In other words, one person out of every color group of 3 has to vote.
You see? At least one member of each trio must vote. Otherwise...
That means Kay has to vote. Quark and Alice certainly aren't in any condition to. If he doesn't, all three of them are screwed.
Ooh. Ooh. Is this gonna be... We're gonna guilt Dio into doing an actual ally split vote, but then Kay's gonna turn around and do the betray and get rid of Alice.
Wait a second.
Is that gonna be like a big surprise moment?
Kay's got 6 BP right now. His opponent is gonna have to default to ally. That means if Kay chooses betray, he's gonna have 9 points.
You needn't worry. I have every intention of choosing ally.
Oh, give me a break. You expect us to just swallow your bullshit?
Oh dear. Dio, please, think for a moment. You do realize that Alice currently only has 1 BP, don't you? If I were to betray her, what would happen?
Anyone whose BP drops to 0 gets penalized, just like when you break the rules.
I am not so desperate to escape that I would be willing to kill. Therefore, I will definitely choose ally. Indeed, I really have no choice. Unless, of course, I wish to become a murderer.
5 minutes remain.
Meanwhile, Dio's just like, oh, I really just want to be a murderer.
We don't have time to argue about this. There's only one solution. Clover, you're going to have to go vote for us.
Huh?
What does that mean?
What, did I use big words? It means this!
I'd never seen someone move that fast before, let alone someone as old as Tenmuji. In the blink of an eye, he covered the few feet between himself and Dio and slammed a closed fist into the other man's chest. Dio fell to his knees, wheezing for air. Tenmuji waited for half a second to make sure he was down, then turned to look at Clover.
He's not gonna stay down forever. Get out of here, Clover.
But...
You and Kay are in the same position now. I've only got 1 BP, just like Alice.
Interesting. So long as Tenmyoji doesn't vote, Clover's only choice is to choose ally.
Admittedly, there is a chance she might kill me.
Are you saying you trust me with your life?
That's about the size of it. Well, what the hell are you standing around for? Get! You don't need to worry about Alice. I'll keep a good eye on her, I promise. Now get moving! You still don't trust me?
No, that's not it at all. I trust you, I just...
3 minutes.
Yeah, we're running out of time. You really don't have time to debate this anymore.
We need to go.
Come on. Okay, take care of Alice.
She'll be fine.
That seemed to finally satisfy her, and we were off. We ran as fast as we could, leaping through doors and tearing through rooms on our way back to the warehouse. Everybody ready?
Yeah.
You've all got a moon card, right?
Yes, we do.
Good. Then let's go. Part AB gates yawned open as we swiped our cards. The 5th one, the one that Dio had opened, stayed empty. The 6th, which would have been Alice's, remained unopened. Kay and Clover quickly entered the 2nd and 3rd from the right. Luna and I headed towards our own.
Hold on a minute.
What is it?
You're going to choose ally, right?
Yeah? Why do you ask?
Of course we are.
You promise?
Sure. I promise.
Cross your heart?
Cross my heart.
You're gonna be in a world of hurt if you double-cross me.
Are you gonna double-cross me? Because we're both on 6 points at the minute, so if you betray me, you get out the fucking door. Don't sweat it. I'm a man of my word. Vi frowned, but said nothing. and disappeared into her own AB room, the second from the left. Luna and I nodded to one another and headed for the last one, the leftmost room. Start.
One minute remains until Ambidex game polling closes.
What are you going to do?
Well, I don't have a choice, do I? I promised. I said I'd choose Ally.
But Phi has 6 BP. If she betrays us...
Yeah, she'll have 9 points, I know.
Right.
What do you think we should do, Luna?
It's your decision, Sigma. I'll be in the same position either way.
What?
You have 6 BP too, don't you? That means if we betray Phi, and she chooses Ally...
Then I would have 9 points.
You see? In either case, I could end up with someone in my group reaching their goal.
20 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
That's it. We don't have any time left. You have to make a choice.
Are you sure this is okay with you?
Yes.
Alright. I turn to face the machine.
10 seconds remain until Ambidex game polling closes.
What am I gonna choose?
9, 8, 7,
Ally or betray?
6, 5, 4,
This is impossible.
3, 2, 1.
Let's be good. Let's get fooled again.
Round 2 of the Ambidex game has been completed. Results will be displayed in the warehouse. Thank you for your participation. Ambidex gates now opening.
Luna and I stepped out of our AB room a little later than the others. They were already gathered in front of the projection, awaiting the announcement of the results.
You chose Ally, right? Are you sure that was okay?
Yeah. What else was I gonna do? I promised. It'll be fine. I'm sure if I chose Ally too.
Really?
No, not really. Come on, what's with you? Do you not trust Phi?
No, that's not what I mean. It's just...
Let's go have a look, shall we? Why are we even talking about this? We'll know what happened in just a few seconds.
You're right. Let's go.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Good for them. Good for them. Fuck! Fucking Phi! God damn it, Phi, you piece of fucking shit. I knew she was gonna.
Points have been assigned or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Hey! What the hell is this? Why'd you choose Betray? I thought we promised.
We?
Oh, we're about to hit another lock point. How do we stop Phi?
I don't remember that.
What?
You promised me.
You said you'd choose Ally, but I don't recall promising you anything. I was free to choose whatever I wanted.
Hold up.
You should have seen this coming. I told you I'd make you pay. And now I am.
Make me pay? Huh? I had absolutely no idea what she was talking about.
You reap what you sow. This is your fault. You chose betray first.
Excuse me? First? Do you mean in round 1?
No. I mean the first round, too.
Huh? Have you lost it? Take a real good look at the results up there. This is round 2. My vote says ally, yours says betray. I didn't betray you. I've never betrayed you.
Yes, you have. Remember? Oh, don't lie to me, Sigma.
What?
Drop the act. There's no way you don't know by now.
Know about what?
What's happening to you? The strange things you've been seeing.
Do you mean the premonitions? I wanted to say it, but as the word formed itself in my mouth, I felt a tingle along the back of my neck. Someone was looking at me. I turned around to see Luna, Clover, and Kay.
What are the two of you talking about?
It's nothing.
Sophie's also connecting to the morphic field and is remembering other timelines.
Forget about it.
I'm afraid it's not that simple. You were the only person who chose to betray this round. Is there some connection to what you and Sigma were discussing?
Yes, there is a connection, but you wouldn't believe me.
You don't know that. We might believe a lot.
Sophie looked away and then scowled. For several long moments her eyes stared off in the distance, and I could see her mind working. Finally she sighed and spoke.
Right. Well, I've got 9 points now. So sorry, but I'm out of here.
Huh? What do you mean?
Do I really have to explain it? I'm leaving. Through the number 9 door.
Hey, wait. I scrambled around in front of her and threw my arms out.
You're in my way. Move.
No. I'm not letting you go. What happened to you? I didn't think you were the kind of person who'd ditch the rest of us so you could get away.
When someone betrays your trust, feels like a part of you dies. For me, I guess it was the part that cared. I don't think you have even the slightest idea what that feels like.
Betrays your... Wait, are you saying...
Whatever. Just get out of my way.
No, I'm not moving.
See, then you leave me no choice.
Scalpel? As she spoke, Fi bent down. Whoa, what the fuck? She just jumped straight over us, and then shot up into the air and over my head. I spun around to see her standing next to the number 9 door, her hand on the lever. You.
Nice try.
She grinned and tightened her grip on the lever.
Plaudite, acta est fabula.
What the hell was that?
It's Latin. Applaud. The play has ended. That's what it means.
Latin?
See you later.
Wait. Stop. A bolt of searing light roared through my brain. When I came to, I was floating in a field of nothingness. Another lockout point. Alright, I guess it's now time to go back in time and betray her. Alright. Let's fuck her up. Let's make her angry with us in the first place.
1 minute.
What are you going to do?
Betray! Luna and I stepped out of the AB room a little later than the others. Let's just check how long is this. Oh, it's not very long at all. Okay. So I think this is going to be an ending. This is me leaving, maybe? They were already gathered in front of the projection, awaiting the announcement of the results.
So, you chose Betray.
Yeah.
Did you do it to protect yourself? Were you worried that Phi might choose Betray?
That's a good question.
Huh?
I'm honestly not sure myself why I did it.
Well, we should go see the results. I want to see how Kay and Clover voted.
Right. Let's go then.
Results from round 2 of the Ambidex game will now be displayed. Please direct your attention to the results screen.
Yep, same. Get fucked, Vi. You fucked me in the other timeline, now I'm fucking you in this one. Which is then going to cause you to fuck me over in the last timeline. Oh, it's weird. It's very circular.
Or subtracted accordingly. Please check your bracelet to see your updated bracelet points.
Hell yeah, 9 points. See you later, losers.
Well played, Sigma. I guess a promise means a lot to you.
I had nothing to say. She was right. I'd broken a promise.
Why did you do it? Nothing to say? I guess I misjudged you. I thought you were better than this. That was not a smart move, Sigma. I won't forget this. I'll make sure you pay, even if it's the last thing I do. A lapsum semel occasionum, non ipse potest Jupiter reprehendere.
What's that?
A Latin proverb.
What does it mean?
Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity. Jupiter is a Roman god.
Don't care. And I just pulled the lever on the door, the number 9 door, and just be like, see you later, fuckos.
Actually, he's kind of the Roman god. He's in charge of all the others. Not even Jupiter, the ruler of the gods, can take back what's been done. You did something bad. You're not gonna get a chance to take it back.
I wonder if this is going to unlock the continuation of the last timeline. Maybe. I turned away from Phi. I couldn't stand to look at her anymore. In front of me were Kay and Clover. Their eyes bored into me with cold disapproval, and I looked away. They'd both chosen Ally as promised. The only person who'd betrayed anyone was me. The only person with 9 BP was me. Little wonder I wasn't very popular.
What do you intend to do?
You aren't thinking about trying to open the number 9 door, are you?
For a moment, I considered the unthinkable. Could I break through them and reach the door? Once I was through, I'd be out of the game and free from their judgment. But no, I couldn't do that. How could I possibly justify leaving them all behind so I could escape on my own? Why had I chosen Betray? In my memory, it seemed like an almost flippant choice, as if I'd just been curious to see what would happen. If betrayal was what I wanted, I should have made that choice with commitment. But there I was, and I couldn't turn back. Even if I didn't try to open the number 9 door, they would all be suspicious of anything I did. Trust is easy to break and hard to repair. Unless I could somehow turn back the clock, I was stuck with the consequences of my actions.
Elapsum semel occasionum, non ipse potest Jupiter reprehendere. Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity.
How could I do something that was beyond the reach of a god? Why hadn't I just chosen ally? What would have been happening to me right now? We'd be getting fucked over by fire. That's what would have happened. What if? What if? What if? Then Phi spoke, and I blinked.
Sigma, we're just doing this to be safe. We can't let you run around with 9 BP. I'm afraid you're going to have to sleep for a little while. Okay?
Huh? I started to turn around, but it was already too late. I felt a heavy hand slam into the back of my neck. God damn it, Kay. And then everything went dark. I assume it was Kay that knocked me out. With a heavy hand. Big iron fist. Game over, damn. Oh, that doesn't count as an ending. Huh. Oh, cool. It has opened this one now. Alright. Let's finish this path then.
You chose ally, right?
I sure did.
That was okay?
Yeah, of course. Phi did too.
You sound pretty sure of yourself.
Because we saw it in the other timeline. Oh, it's not confidence. I already know.
What?
Let's go have a look, shall we? We'll know pretty quick whether I knew anything or not.
Okay, let's go.
Is this completely different? It's not the same. Oh, there we go. Yep, she fucked us over again. What the hell, Phi? What the hell, Phi? Why did you choose Betray? You chose Ally before.
I see. So you remember it too? The other round 2.
What? Yeah, it's just, dialogue's different this time because we actually remember it. That wasn't even close to the response I'd expected. It felt anticlimactic. Hey, hold on a minute here. You know? You remember how I chose Betray last time? I'm in round 2?
Of course.
I'm just gonna pour myself a drink.
Why do you think I chose Betray this time? Don't you remember what I said? That I'd make you pay?
Yeah, I do remember that. Then this is you making me pay?
Yes.
But hey, I know you knocked me out last time, so what's stopping me from just clocking you one in the fucking face now? Knocking you out. Wait. No. That didn't make any sense. Something wasn't right. How could we both know about the earlier round 2? How could there have been an earlier round 2? Was it some sort of alternate history? What the hell was I thinking? That was conspiracy theory shit. Even if there was some sort of alternate timeline or universe or whatever, there's no way I could know what happened in it. No way I could know. At least, I didn't think there was any way I could know. But if I could, then how? I remember Phi choosing Ally, and scowling at me when I broke my promise, and swearing revenge.
That was not a smart move, Sigma. I won't forget this. I'll make sure you pay, even if it's the last thing I do.
Why did I know that? Perhaps more importantly, why did Phi remember it? Phi V5. What the hell did any of this mean? It happened before, hadn't it? During round 1 of the AB game, when I was playing against Alice, I had seen something. Fi and I had chosen Betray. But for some reason I'd seen a reality where we'd chosen Ally instead. Suddenly I realized that I wasn't alone. I looked up to see Luna, Clover, and Kay. They all began to speak at once.
What happened?
Why did you choose Betray, Fi?
Yeah. You're the only one who didn't vote Ally.
Fi looked away and scowled. For several long moments her eyes stared off into the distance. And I could also see her mind working. Okay, this is back to repeated stuff. She tries to leave, she jumps over us. See you later. Wait, stop. I felt myself speaking before I even knew what the words were. Repeats the Latin. Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity. Are you sure this is how you want it to end? What about the nunnery game? Zero, the bombs? We still don't know the truth about any of it. If you leave now, we may never know. Is this really what you want?
Fine.
Fi slowly let go of the lever. Open the 8th lock in VLR. Hey, phew. Look, I'm sorry about betraying you. I'm honestly not sure why I did it.
Forget about it. This time you chose Ally and I chose Betray. I think we're even.
What are you talking about?
When did you betray her? Are you talking about round 1?
No. We aren't talking about round 1, we're...
Just drop it. There's no point. I doubt they'd understand even if you did tell them.
Yeah. You're right. Clover might? Depends how much Junpei and June explain to the rest of them after the end of the first game.
I don't get it.
Well, at least it seems Fi has decided to remain.
You've really changed your mind?
Yeah. I'll stick around a little longer. Like he said, I can't leave until we figured out what's going on.
There's not much left of this, flow. So that's gonna be an ending. I think shit's gonna explode, maybe? Okay. The AB game will continue until someone opens the number 9 door. If someone reaches 9 BP and doesn't open the door, the game will keep going.
Oh man, that's a relief. Please don't scare us like that again.
The Ambidex gates have closed. Round 3 of the Ambidex game will be the Star Round. Star keys are required to open the gates. There is no set limit on usage of the Star keys. The Ambidex gates can be opened as many times as the players wish to open them.
Oh. As many times as we want, huh? Then that means...
As long as you have the star keys, you can play the AB game as many times as you want.
You probably won't be allowed to play it continuously, however. There's a period of time between when the doors open and when the polling ends.
Based off the last 2 rounds, I think it's about 45 minutes long.
So you can repeat the game once every 45 minutes or so. So then, can you then just cheat the system, or play the system so that everyone ends up on 9 points?
Oh, that's right.
What?
Didn't
Zero Jr. say something about that?
As soon as the gates close, your colors get all shuffled up automatically. The parent solo assignments hop around a bit too.
Oh yeah. What are your bracelets, guys? Looks like I'm a solo 4.
I'm a magenta pair.
Me too.
That means we'll be a team this time. I think we'll do great.
Yeah.
Who's gonna be my partner then? I'm a cyan pair.
They do not appear to be here. I, for instance, am a yellow pair.
Huh? Wait a second. If Luna and Clover are a magenta pair, Vi's a cyan pair, and Kay's a yellow pair, who the hell am I supposed to partner up with?
The cyan pair, I imagine.
Vi and her mysterious partner.
How do you figure that?
Sigma, what colors are added together to create cyan?
Green and blue, right?
What color would you get by adding your red to that?
Red, green, and blue would be white.
Exactly.
So you're saying the next set of chromatic doors are going to be white?
Yes,
How do you know?
because I have seen them. After leaving the archives, we found a warehouse very similar to this one. In it was a set of white doors.
Yes, we saw that on the other timeline.
Well, to be precise, a set of doors which radiated white light.
Yeah, I saw him too.
Is this a potential, like, this is going to get extended downwards? Because this seems like it's going to keep going where we're at. Unless something very dramatic happens very soon. It feels like we're just going to keep running down this thread. I wonder if we're going to hit like a block point. Like another lock point, and then it gets extended. And this is like a potential true ending, maybe? Unless the place just blows the fuck up.
After we were finished in the garden, we went to the same warehouse he's talking about.
Or Dio kills Tenmuji or some shit like that.
They had the same little lock thingies. I'm 100% sure they're the next chromatic doors.
What about the people back in the infirmary? Do they know about the white doors?
Yes. If we exclude Quark from their number, then I believe they do.
I wonder what colours they are.
As far as pairs go, we're missing a cyan and a yellow.
If Sigma's a red solo, then we should have a green solo and a blue solo back in the infirmary.
Well, I'm going back to the infirmary. Kind of worried about Alice and Quark.
I'll go too.
As will I.
Oh, that's right. Wait, guys. There's something I need to tell you.
What is it?
Go on.
I meant to say something earlier, but I guess there was just so much other stuff going on. I looked at Vi. She nodded back. See, the truth is, we found another bomb.
What?
Oh no!
You found another bomb?
Yeah,
Where?
in the garden.
No, that's not possible. We didn't see anything like that.
Could you have missed it?
No! No way! We checked every part of that room.
There's a number on this one too. It said 01. Since the one we found in the crew quarters said 03 on it, well...
You think there might be a third bomb out there somewhere?
I think there's a good chance.
Very well. We should split up and find this other bomb. It could be anywhere.
Yeah, I agree.
Even if we do find it, what are we supposed to do?
That is a concern for later. At the moment, our primary concern should be finding it.
I mean, in this timeline, we have the device for deactivating the bombs.
You can't fight an enemy you can't see, after all.
Precisely.
All right, I'll head back to the infirmary and let everybody else know.
Please.
How about we set a time to meet back here, just in case? The time we have left until the chromatic doors open is... Let's see...
Quite a bit, actually.
1 hour and 57 minutes.
I think approximately half of that should be enough. When we have 1 hour remaining, we should meet back at the infirmary. Acceptable?
That sounds good to me. Right. I'll tell the others, too.
Good. Let's go. Warehouse B. So these are the white doors that Kay and Clover were talking about. Yeah, there's the lock thing. No question, these are chromatic doors, I guess.
So it seems.
Ah. What? When did you...
I've been here the whole time.
Seriously? I didn't notice you at all.
Oh. I guess your hearing's starting to go. How sad.
So, what do you want? Why are you stalking me?
I'm not stalking you. I just followed you here.
That's pretty much the same thing. But how did you do it? You were totally silent. Are you Batman?
I already told you I'm not.
Also, how did you do that crazy jump over me earlier?
Remember? Back in the AB room when we met?
Yeah, actually. You also jumped super high all the way up to the ceiling.
Right. Aren't you curious about that graffiti?
Graffiti? Memento Mori if the ninth lion ate the sun. Did a kid write that or what?
Why do you say that?
Well, they managed to spell ninth wrong. Who puts an E in there?
You're right.
Then again, maybe it means something.
Do you know what it means? The Latin part.
Hey now, give me a little credit. Even I know what Memento Mori means. You see it all over the place. As far as I know, it translates to something like, be aware of death or remember your mortality. Never forget that we all die someday. I guess it's sort of a cautionary thing.
What about the other part?
It's exactly what it says on the tin, right? Some sort of conditional about lions and suns. Anything come to mind?
No, nothing. Nothing at all.
Well, the last one was an anagram, I think, so is this one?
What about you?
Me? Huh. Well, let's see. Memento Mori, if the ninth lion ate the sun. Memento Mori, if the ninth lion ate the sun. I repeated the words over and over in my head, but nothing. Whatever they meant, it was beyond me. Perhaps if I... Latin.
Huh?
Don't you know Latin? Maybe you can figure more out of it.
Well, I know a little. More than most people, I guess, but I'm not an expert.
Then how'd you know that phrase?
Oh, that. That's from, this.
She unpinned the brooch from my chest as she spoke. She held it out in front of me. I hesitated for a moment, then took it.
Look at the back.
I turned it over. There it is. Oh, tons of scratch marks on it. So I guess the I is pronounced like a J in Latin, huh?
Yeah.
What is this?
A memento of my late mother. Well, I guess it's something like a memento.
What does it mean?
She died right after I was born. I was raised by foster parents, and they told me where the brooch had come from. Apparently, it was the only thing my mother had left behind.
What about your father?
Don't have one. I guess you could say I was a bastard. I never saw his face, and I don't know his name. I don't even know if he's alive.
Oh. I couldn't think of anything else to say, so I just handed her the brooch back.
That phrase got to be almost like a prayer for me. Whenever I had to make a tough decision, I'd say it to myself. Sometimes I'd just repeat it over and over like a chant. Before long, I had it memorized. Got me interested in Latin, and I started studying the language. Collapsum semel occasionum non ipsi protest Jupiter reprehendere. Not even Jupiter can find a lost opportunity. Sounds nice, doesn't it? But it seems kind of funny now. I mean, look at us. We've done what Jupiter can't. We can find our lost opportunities. That's why I followed you here. I thought it would be a good idea to talk to you about all this. Alone.
That's the equivalent of the number 9 door, but it doesn't seem to be anything in this warehouse. I wonder if that is actually going to be important at all. Yeah, I agree.
There's something else we need to do too, though.
Find the number 2 bomb.
Exactly. So we should get going. I'm pretty sure the bomb isn't in here. There's nowhere to hide it. So...
You're saying we should go somewhere else?
Yeah. Well, come on, don't just stand there. We need to get a move on.
Without waiting for a reply, she turned and started towards one of the exits. I followed. The archives. Are we still okay? The archives. Good place to hide a bomb. Now why the hell do we start looking?
I doubt it really matters. If it's here, we'll find it eventually.
So what about that Jupiter stuff?
We can talk while we look. Now get started.
I turned to a corner of the room and began to look while Vi spoke.
I'll start with a conclusion I've come to. Our consciousnesses seem to be able to jump through time. No, sorry. Through time isn't really accurate. It's more like we move through worlds.
Worlds?
Yes. I don't mean physical planets in this case. Talking about a whole different universe, really. Parallel worlds.
What?
Do you know about the many worlds interpretation?
Well, kind of. I think I've heard of it once or twice.
Oh, well, I'll just explain it. Let's say... I don't care what it is, but could you move?
Huh?
Scratch your head, cross your arms, put your hands on your hips. Anything?
I had no idea what this was supposed to explain, but I did as she'd asked.
Interesting choice. You clapped your hands, right? But you could have chosen to cheer or blow a kiss, right?
Blow a kiss? I wouldn't do.
Details don't matter. I'm just talking about possibilities here. Now, maybe there are other Sigmas in other worlds who did all of those things. All of these worlds and realities are branching off from one another. The choices you could have made branched off from the moment you decided what you were going to do just now. Every moment you make a decision, Another universe branches off, on and on into infinity. Each of those branches is an alternate world. A world where a version of you did something different. Haven't you ever thought about what life would have been like if you'd made different choices? What if you'd gone to this high school instead of that one? What if you hadn't started a study group? What if you hadn't told that girl you liked her? What if? What if? But are those what ifs really just what ifs? Or are there other worlds out there where you did those things? Anyway, that's the many worlds interpretation in a nutshell. I've simplified it a lot. Doesn't have to be human actions, though. I just used your actions to make the explanation easier to grasp. The actions of a cat, the flight of a bee, the movement of a microorganism, even fluctuations in air temperature. All these can change history.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hold on a second here. I'll let microorganisms slide, but there's no way that air is conscious of anything.
Can you say for sure that you are?
What?
All of your actions are caused by the cells in your brain.
Okay, I actually desperately need the bathroom. So I didn't want to stop until we hit the end of this track, but I absolutely need the loo, so I'll be back in a couple of minutes. Won't be long. Okay, I'm back. Right, let's continue on.
If we go down a little further, then you could say all of your actions are the result of atoms or electrons, or smaller particles we haven't even discovered yet. Are those atoms and electrons still you making a decision? At that level, how different are you from the air? I'd say not much. Human existence is just one part of reality. Falling in love is like a tulip blossoming. A tulip blossoming is like a tornado forming in South America. See what I'm saying? The only thing that really matters is the action of the most elementary particles of matter. That's where history happens. That's where universes branch out. Hey, you stopped. Are you done with that shelf?
Oh, no, not yet.
Keep looking while I talk. How familiar are you with quantum physics? Never mind, don't answer that. I'll try and keep it simple for you. Let's see. Hey, hand me that box, will you?
This one? Sure. I handed the box I'd been examining over to her. She set it down on the desk and opened the top.
Also... there's a stuffed lion over there.
Are you going to explain Schrödinger's cat to us again?
Perfect. He's part of Felidae, too.
Yeah, she is. With that, she grabbed the lion and tossed it unceremoniously into the box. She also took a weight and an ink jar and put them next to the lion.
Alright, everything's ready.
Ready?
Remember that book in the crew quarters about Schrödinger's cat? It relates to all this stuff I've been talking about. Anyway, come look at the box.
What about looking for the...
It'll only take a minute. Now look.
I shrugged and peered into the box.
What do you see?
Well, there's a stuffed lion.
From now on, that's a cat. A living cat. This is important. Got it?
Yeah, it's a cat. Meow.
Oh man. This again?
Sorry. I can't help it.
I find that hard to believe. Ugh, fine. Maybe I can just ignore it.
For what it's worth, I'm sorry.
Alright, what else do you see?
Oh wait, that's not even a pond. Hang on, oh wait, that's not even pond. A pound, that's what the word is supposed to be. Okay. And a jar of ink.
Right. Now the weight is going to be radioactive material, and the jar of ink is full of poisonous gas.
What? I'm getting out of here.
Idiot. It's not really full of gas. This is just hypothetical. Imagine that it's full of gas. So, what's the weight?
Radioactive material.
And the jar of ink?
It's full of poison gas.
Exactly. Good work. Now, there's one other thing you need to know about the jar. If it's struck by any of the alpha particles the radioactive material emits, it'll break. These particles are emitted randomly, but there's a 50% chance that one of them will come into contact with the jar over the course of an hour. So let's close the lid. And pretend an hour has passed. Here's the question. Is the cat inside of the box alive or dead?
It's both.
You can't open the box to check. And you can't hit the box. Obviously, you can't shake it either. It's also been soundproofed, so the cat could be howling up a storm in there and you'd never know. Basically, you have no idea what's going on inside the box. Do you remember what happens if the alpha particles hit the jar?
It breaks. Gas fills the box and the cat inhales it, and death will whisk her away.
And what if the jar doesn't break?
The cat lives to tell the tale.
Haha. And what are the chances of either of those things happening?
About 50%.
Uh-huh. So, what's your answer? Is the cat alive or dead?
I can't possibly know.
Guess. It's not hard. Alive or dead?
The cat is, pause for dramatic effect, alive.
Nope. You're wrong.
It's dead.
That's wrong too.
Then what's the right answer?
The answer is that it's in a state where it is neither dead nor alive.
What? How does that make any sense?
It's an extrapolation of something we see at the atomic level. We don't know if an atom is spinning upward or downward until we measure it. Before it's measured, those two possibilities coexist. But as soon as the measurement is taken, obviously, only one possibility is the truth. That's what's happening with the alpha particles. Since we can't know when they were emitted or where, we only know the probability that they'll impact the jar. Because we can't observe anything that's happening in the box, that becomes the entire system. In other words, the box is like the atom. We don't know how the cat's life or death situation has resolved itself until we look at it. Until we do, it's just a bunch of possibilities. Do you get it? If the cat in the box is possibilities,
then it's both alive and dead.
Right. So, let's open the lid. And when we do, all the possibilities will collapse into a single truth. Meow. What a relief, huh? Looks like the cat's alive. Anyway, that's Schrödinger's cat. The many worlds interpretation is one theory for explaining that weirdness.
So there's another world out there where this cat died?
Yeah, that's the idea. Looks like that cat tick of yours cleared up.
Yeah. Well, your story was pretty insane.
Insane?
You don't think so? Just the idea of something being alive and dead at the same time. And if the moment the lid is open determines whether or not the cat's dead, then it's almost like events in the future can determine the past. I mean, the cat doesn't die when you open the lid, so it must have already been dead.
Exactly. You've experienced it, haven't you?
What on earth are you talking about?
Think back. Remember round 2 of the AB game? When you chose Betray, what was my vote?
Ally.
But what happened this time?
I chose Ally, and you chose Betray.
Right. And both times, I put in my vote a full minute before the deadline. When did you push the button?
Right before the deadline.
I see. Well, that makes this a little easier to explain. If you chose Betray, then my vote was Ally. If you chose Ally, then my vote was Betray. But I made my choices a whole minute before you made yours. Don't you think that's strange? You do see what I'm saying, don't you?
That my choice in the future altered your actions in the past.
Yeah. From your perspective, there's no other way to interpret it.
And that's the second time it's happened as well, because we know it's happened with Alice on the first round. Now that I thought about it, round 1 had been the same. When I'd chosen Ally, Alice had chosen Betray. I wonder if you hit this route first before doing the being betrayed by Alice, whether this segment just isn't here. I bet the scripting for this game is like super interesting if you look at the back end. There's like a bunch of triggers that's like, okay, did you see this branch and this branch? Then you get to have this segment of the dialogue show up. Did you not? Then you only see this bit. And so on and so forth. I bet there's going to be like a bunch of different pieces of dialogue that I don't see just based on the order that I view, or the order that I go through the flowchart.
Look at this die. I found it over there. Let me give you one last example.
As she spoke, she tossed the die into the box and quickly shut the lid.
All right. Answer this question. What number is the die on?
Let's go 5. It's not 5, is it?
Okay. I'm going to open the lid.
Shit! Now, is that always going to be the number that I picked?
You got it right.
That was just a fluke.
Was it?
Huh?
Let's think about what was going on before I opened the lid. What number was the die on?
5, of course.
Haven't you been paying attention? The die is still a collection of atoms, isn't it? I don't think you can reasonably suggest that it was made of some different kind of matter.
Wait, so you're saying that before you opened the lid, the dice was on all of the numbers?
Uh-huh. That's one way to look at it, at least.
Then when you opened the lid, it was just one number?
Or it might have become that number when you declared which one it was.
Huh? Wait, what do you mean?
Your choice in the future has an effect on the past.
That's crazy.
Anyway, that's all I wanted to say. We got a little off topic there, but I think I made my point. Reality separates off into an infinite number of branches for each and every possibility. You and I seem to be able to jump from branch to branch. Of course, our bodies aren't doing the jumping. Our consciousnesses just sort of dive into other versions of ourselves in other worlds.
Whoa. I think I get it now. That's how you knew my name, right? You jumped in from another world. That's how you knew all those other things you shouldn't have known.
Yeah, that's the best I can figure out, at least. Unfortunately, it seems like we don't retain all our memories when we jump. Maybe we only remember particularly important things. I'm not sure how it works, but whatever the reason, it seems to be fairly limited. And often, we don't seem to remember jumping at all. Things will just sort of pop up.
That's why when somebody asks us how we know X, all we can think of to say is, I just know.
Yeah.
What's causing this then? I don't remember ever doing this before, so why would it start now?
If we knew that, I don't think we'd be having so much trouble. It's just...
Just what?
Well, pretty sure it has to do with why we're locked up in here. There's no way this doesn't have something to do with whatever Zero Senior's trying to do. Why would he have left that Schrödinger's cat book in the crew quarters?
You aren't kidding, are you? Maybe this is some sort of huge Schrödinger's cat experiment. And all 9 of us are locked up inside a box right now.
What if you've got it backwards?
Backwards?
We're outside of the box, and the rest of the world is inside.
Then the moment we step out of this place.
Yeah. We might be determining the history of the world outside.
Ooh. Ooh. Game. No way. I had 1,000 other questions, but before I could open my mouth to ask them.
Oh, good. There you are.
Did something happen?
Yes. We found it.
Found what?
What do you mean, what? What else could we find? The bomb! The other antimatter bomb. The number 2 bomb is in the control room.
Wait. That's the room we were in. That's a 3rd room that you've had access to. I mean, it could be anyone, but it is kind of weird that... Of the 3 rooms so far, there were puzzle rooms for 2 of them. And then she found Alice by herself in the bee garden. So, Fi, are you planting in the bombs? But if you are, where are you getting them from? That's weird.
Yeah. This is one of them, all right.
And it's number 2, apparently. Well, at least we've found them all now.
No. There could be more. Like Kay said, there might be a number 4 bomb out there. We have no way to know.
Did you tell anyone else about this, Clover?
Well, not really. But, I wasn't the first person to find it.
Who was?
Kay and Luna. After
After they found it, they came to the infirmary and told the rest of us.
Who's in the infirmary?
Everyone. Tenmyoji and Dio were there. So were Alice and Quark, of course. Although they were still asleep.
So everyone who wasn't asleep knows about the bomb. I see.
Yeah.
There's nobody else here, though. Where'd they all go?
Right after we came here to look at the bomb, they all left. They were going to go look for you two.
What about Alice and Quark?
They're the same. Still sleeping. We checked them out just to be sure, but they seemed fine.
That's good. Fi and I looked at one another and then let out a small sigh of relief.
Oh, right. I checked everybody's bracelets when we were in the infirmary. Did you want to know what they were?
Oh, yeah, that's useful to know. It took her only a moment to explain. Alice was green solo. Quark was blue solo. Dio's bracelet made him a yellow pair. And Tenmyoji was a cyan pair. So, what are our options for the groups?
The next set of doors to open are going to be the white doors. That means we'll have to mix our colors so that we get white.
If I laid out what that would mean. Option A. Phi Tenmyoji would pair with me. K and Dio would pair with Quark. Clover and Luna would pair with Alice.
Huh? There's only one option?
Yeah. Any other combinations don't make white.
What about Alice and Quark? Luna said it's gonna be a while until they wake up.
Just have to carry them. The secondary doors won't open without 3 bracelets. And if we can't open them...
Yeah, we'll get penalized.
Exactly.
Don't worry about Alice.
Who was our groups again? Oh, is it not gonna show? Oh, hey, here we go. Phi and Tenmyoji. So we're going with Phi again. Okay. And some time with Tenmyoji. Which is actually somebody I want to, like, hang out with soon. I want to know more about them. K and Dio. Okay. Clover and Luna. Okay.
I'm on her team.
Are you saying you can carry her?
Yeah. Well, I can get Luna to help me.
True. I'm sure she'd be happy to help.
What about Quark?
He's on K's team. There shouldn't be any issues there.
Well, we still need to figure out what we're going to do about this bomb. Alice said we should be safe as long as it's not triggered by with the remote.
Maybe, but we can't just leave them here forever. I mean, if they go off, then everything in like a couple 100 kilometers is gonna get fried.
Wait, a couple 100 kilometers? The bombs are our poison gas. Maybe? That bomb should only have about as much explosive power as a ton of TNT. Which is nothing to sniff at, but that's nowhere near the kind of yield you're talking about. We're in the reactor room. If this one blows, it blows the reactor as well, and wipes out everything out.
It could be. What if these bombs are just like the detonator?
Oh. You mean there might be a bunch more anti-hydrogen... around here somewhere. Yeah, right over there.
The reactor.
Yeah. There are supposed to only be 18 antimatter reactors in the whole world. If that's one of them, then there's a lot of anti-hydrogen.
How much is a lot?
3.5 kilograms.
3.5? That's like 10,000 times more than Alice's 350 milligrams.
If there really is that much, and if it does explode,
looking at an explosion roughly 10,000 times more powerful than the bomb dropped on Hiroshima.
No. That's insane.
Wait, Clover, how did you know that?
Know what?
That stuff about antimatter reactors.
Well, that's, during my training, they...
Training for what?
My job?
Ah, of course. I didn't realize waitresses these days needed to memorize how many operational antimatter reactors there are worldwide, or how much fuel each one of those reactors might be storing. You don't work at a cafe, do you?
Did you hear about that from Alice?
Yeah.
Oh. Well, she's right then.
Why are you using antimatter reactors at a cafe?
That's, what we call the coffee machines.
Uh-huh. So you're a part of whatever that organization that Alice was a part of. I forget the name of it. They did say in one of the secret files. What? Are you fucking with me?
I'm telling you the truth. I work at a cafe.
At the secret organization?
It just might, be a kind of fake job to divert attention.
There we go.
Call it a cover.
What?
Then what's your real job?
I'm sorry. I really can't tell you anything else.
Uh-huh.
Why not?
It's classified.
Classified by who?
The government?
The government?
That's right. Al said it was her job to eliminate enemies of the state or something. So you two do work together.
Oh no! Check your bracelets. How much time do we have left?
What are you talking about?
How long until the doors open? Come on, quickly!
Like an hour? Or is that seconds? We were supposed to meet up 5 minutes ago.
I'm heading back then.
Oh, you... just dodging that question.
Remember, we're supposed to meet at the infirmary. You guys hurry back, okay? Bye!
Hey. You haven't... Damn it. And she's gone. Fine. She's right, you know, we need to get going.
Hold on. I need to check something really quick.
What? Hmm?
Oh, there you are. You're late. What were you doing?
Nothing.
When we arrived, everyone else was already back. Quark and Alice hadn't left, of course. They were both sleeping soundly, any traces of madness we'd seen earlier long gone.
Clover told us. You've seen the bomb in the control room.
Yeah, with our own eyes.
So what the hell should we do? That makes 3 bombs.
Well, we have to do something. They're bombs, for God's sake.
There's a quick and simple solution.
Really?
Remember what Alice said?
There should be an emergency deactivation password. If you enter that password, the device should, well, deactivate. You see it? Right here. There's a port.
Okay, cool. I think Fi's just figured out that the little terminal, pocket terminal that we found is used for deactivating it.
If we can find the password input device, we just connect it here. Then we can enter the password.
So, if we have the password, we can deactivate them?
Whoa, hold on a second. That's great and all, but we need that password input device she was talking about. Without that, we're still boned even if we did have the password.
Not a problem. We've resolved that issue.
Huh?
Show them.
Yeah, okay. They're acknowledging that we actually picked this thing up out of the safe. I nodded and pulled it out of my pocket.
That was in the safe in the control room.
Exactly. We didn't have any idea what it was at first, but Fi figured it out. After Clover left, we tested it.
Turned out I was right. It fit perfectly.
Couldn't get it to do anything though. We plugged it in a couple of random characters, but all we got was an error.
Still, I'm sure this is the thing Alice was talking about. We just didn't have the right password.
But why was it in the control room?
Do you think Zero Senior put it here for us?
That would suggest it was also Zero Senior who set up the bombs.
Doesn't that seem odd, though? Zero Senior wants us to play the nonary game, right? So why would he set bombs?
Maybe he wants to blow this whole place up if someone commits some crazy violation of the rules?
That doesn't make sense. Our bracelets already have poison in them. If someone breaks a rule, all he has to do is activate their bracelet.
Yeah, you're right. Is this like a weird double Schrödinger's cat situation where we're all in a Schrödinger's, like a box? So we are the Schrödinger's cat, with the bombs being our poison equivalent. But then we're also kind of doing it as Fi suggested, where we're affecting the outside world. Like the outside world is our Schrödinger's cat type situation. So the world is ours and we're the world's kind of situation. So both places exist in like a multiple states.
Well, whatever the case is,
Maybe.
there's one thing we can be sure of. The person who set these bombs is one of us. Whether or not that person is also Zero Senior isn't particularly relevant at the moment. But what is relevant is that they know the deactivation password. If we can figure out who that person is and question them.
We can get the password and turn the bombs off.
Exactly. That would be my quick and easy method. So fess up. Which one of you set the bombs?
Yeah, they're not just gonna confess.
Not that I expect you to do that. So, we're going to be checking everyone.
Checking us?
Yes. Once they're set, the bombs are controlled by a remote. It stands to reason that whoever set them has that remote.
So you're gonna search us for it?
Yes.
It's under Dio's hat.
But
No buts. If you refuse, that implicates you. Do what I say and you'll be fine, assuming you are actually innocent. Understand? No reason to wait. Let's get started. Anyone want to volunteer to go first? No? All right. Let's see.
Wait,
Huh?
you only need to search one person.
What? Why?
Because I figured out who did it. I know who did it. The words were out of my mouth before I'd even realized I was saying them.
How can you... There's no way.
Yeah. I met Fi's gaze and nodded, then turned away. I know who set the bombs. I don't. That person. That person? You did it. The room was suddenly silent. I'm gonna get locked out, aren't I? To be continued? Ah, I fucking knew it. Of course. Of course. So this might actually be like a true ending route. Kind of seems like it was maybe going that way. Yeah. Okay. Lock number 9. Alright, I guess we've got to explore more timelines. So this will be the next branching path that I do. And then it'll be hitting up these other ones. I feel like I'm kind of hitting a little bit of like endgame stuff early. I don't know if I actually am or not, but it kind of feels like I am. Okay, so we'll jump back to this. Will be our decision point. And actually, we've been going for a while tonight, so yeah, we're going for 3 hours. This seems like the best spot to wrap up for tonight. I'm enjoying this. I'm really liking this. They're getting into like the weird stuff a lot earlier than they did in the first game. I'm super interested to see like what else is going to happen here. But let's wrap up here for tonight. I'll pick this up again in, I don't know when I'll stream this next, in a couple of days. I'm not entirely sure when exactly, but we'll see. But yeah, that's going to be it for tonight. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Cheers. Bye.